What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Lock Shed. Thank you guys for joining, and I'm back. All right, let's start it with a good one. So on this episode, we're going to be having fun with a CISA 280-55. Very hefty, sturdy lock, very heavy duty. And check out the keyway on this one, guys. So this one has a very fun, challenging keyway. It's probably one of the best keyways I have out of the collection. Very paracentric. And it took me a long time to realize what that word actually meant. Yeah, I pretended to kind of know what that word meant. I had an idea what paracentric meant. And there might be some of you guys out there who don't know what paracentric means. Paracentric keyway. Wards or metal obstructions intrude through the keyway, breaking the straight line from the keyhole bottom to the pin stack. What that means, right up here is, so if this is the keyway and you draw a straight line down the middle of the keyway, there's these little metal wards that you'll see right here that intrude into it, which makes it paracentric, which makes it a harder pick, a little bit more of a challenge for us lock pickers. Paracentric keyway. So that's what paracentric means. Anyway, so this guy right here has got a really, really fun, heavily warded paracentric keyway. It's so awesome, the company decided that the key needed to show it off. So they have the actual imprint of the paracentric keyway, this way, of the keyway on their own key, which is really cool. And this is the key right here. It's not too bad of a bitting. It does work wonderfully. It is not spring-loaded shackle. You got to actually pull it out. It is key retaining. So if the shackle is open, the key doesn't come out. So you do actually need the lock locked for that key to come out. Picking-wise, not a bad little pick. It is a bit of a good challenge. One of the challenges is how to get your tension wrench in there. If you can tell, it's really that core is pretty deep inside there. You can see it's got an anti-drill plate and then this really heavy duty core plate. So you got to double that up, and then you got to figure out, well, where are you going to put your tension wrench in all of this warding right here to keep it out of your way. I mean, clearly you're really not going to be able to use too much of that bottom, so you could use the bottom. When I'm picking, I'm going to be using right off of this shelf right here. That's the shelf that I'm going to be hanging out at to actually pick it. And I'll be using like a 15 thousandths hook right here. But one way you can tension it is if you see these little dimples right here in the drill plate, it's actually attached to the core by two dimples. So you can actually tension it off the drill plate, which is what I'm going to do just like that. And this is a 5-pin, and we will figure that out at the end when I gut it. So enough talking. Let's go ahead and pick this guy open. All right, so we got it in the vise here. Hopefully I got a good view for you. Let's get that tension wrench in there, and I'm going to use moderate tension, and let's see what we can do. Yeah, click on one. Let's keep going back here. Gotta get under. So part of this key is trying to get underneath stuff. There we go. There we go. Click on 5, and I had a little bit of a false set going now. Let's find out from where. It feels like that guy. And there is the open. Let me pop that shackle for you there, and we got ourselves the open. Excellent. Let's gut it, shall we? Oops. That thing's always falling off. Let's see here. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. Keep that guy on the camera. There we go. Okay. There we go. We'll need him later. We don't need him. We do need him. Okay. Now then, let's gut it. We're going to go ahead and get that screw out of there. It's got a really big, hefty screw in there. Almost. Almost. Come on out, buddy. Come on out. There we go. Drop all that. Drop that plate, and here comes the core. Oops. I just dropped the actuator too, which is this guy right here. Let's just set him there. All right. As I was saying about this anti-drill plate, the reason why we can tension off of it, as you can see, it's got these dimples that match this right here. Let's see if I can, there we go, focus a little better. There we go. That match those right there. So if you try to turn the anti-drill, that actually turns the core, and so you can use that as a tension area. All right. Now we do have to be careful when we pull this apart, and I do need a fun tool here. Get this circlip off. I'm going to lock it back up. I do have a key, of course, so I can get to lock it back up if I want to. There we go. Circlip removed. Okay. Where'd the key go? There we go. Slide that key in. And we do got to be careful when we use the follower. We don't want to have anything fall into that gap right there. So I will go to here. That way it can follow that part. And now I just got to make sure I don't drop those pins. So I'm going to flip it upside down to there. And away we go. Just like that. All right, let's take a look. You can see one pin is different. That will be an anti-drill steel pin. Let's knock these guys out of here. There we go. We got pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, 4, and 5. Nothing special in the actual chambers themselves, just your standard chambers. But another good look at that keyway, guys. You can see now, let's see if I just grab a pick. You can't really use the bottom because you have to like, you got to maneuver up and over. So you kind of have to go right off of this ledge here and get yourself a nice, kind of like a shallow hook, so you can still get underneath those pins and lift them. All right. Let's take a look at what we got in the Bible, starting with chamber 1. There we go. So we have a standard, also a steel pin. So on chamber 1, we have a anti-drill top pin and bottom pin. And see here, chamber 2, we have a nice spool. Chamber 3, got ourselves a nice spool. Let's head to the back. Chamber 5, we got ourselves I guess you could say serrated. And chamber 4, a spool. All right, I believe all the springs are the same, so we'll just go ahead and knock those all out and set them in line. One more, guys. There we go. Look at it. It's a very hefty looking. Look how thick that Bible is. And nothing's really been done to the chambers. It's all standard chamber stuff. But there it is. Let's get a good look at this stuff. There we go. So you can see we just have 5 chambers, all standard pins, you know, except for, you know, you call these the anti-drill pins, no security bottom pins. But we do have, you know, a spool, and a serrated. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the CISA CISA 28055. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my little video here, and please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Get that out of the way. You know, I do appreciate those like and subscribes. So does this little guy, the creepy doll. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. So you guys have a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and happy picking.